guys, welcome to Her Faith Journey. My name is Jessica, and on this channel I've been sharing my journey as a new Christian. So for today's video, you guys already know, today we're going to be talking about wives submit to your husbands. You guys seem to like these videos, so I'm just adding on to this. I have created a playlist if you guys want to check it out. I have all the videos where I talk about different things that relate to this topic, so check that out, you guys. I feel like I can continue talking about this anyway, so I do enjoy making these videos for you. And for today's video, I wanted to share the things that, did you guys see that? I'm already anxious about it, but I am going to be talking about the things that I have been particularly struggling with when it comes to this idea of submission. I do have a video where I explained the submission idea and what it really means in biblical context. I'll go ahead and link that video up here. But you guys, as someone who was of this world before, someone who was a very independent woman, I think the idea of submission was hard in many ways. I feel like I struggled just with the idea of being a stay-at-home mom. It was something that I never really thought I'd be doing, to be honest. I always thought that I was going to be an independent woman as far as like my income and being able to take care of myself. And so money was a thing for me, that I always thought I would have my own money, and I wouldn't be sharing bank accounts or anything like that. So money was a big thing. And so when I first got married, I was working for a very long time. I was making my own money. I did pay for my own car and things like that. It wasn't until I was really unhappy with my job that I decided to quit and kind of talked it over with my husband. And so in the beginning of our marriage, we each kind of paid different bills, and then suddenly he became the main provider and basically started taking over all of the bills. And I felt some weight when that happened. I felt some like stress about it, because I always felt like I always felt like I had to help too, because obviously, you know, we were both living in the house, and we already had Lily, our 7-year-old. So it was kind of a stress for me, just realizing like, man, I'm not helping. I always felt like I wasn't helping, and it was just me in my head. It wasn't any pressure that my husband was putting on me. It was just all me. So it was hard for me to accept that help. Now I realize that I am doing a lot as a stay-at-home mom. I am taking care of our kids first and foremost. I feel like that role, like that motherhood role, does take more of a responsibility when it comes to taking care of the children. So now that we have 2 kids, and I haven't been working for, I want to say like 4 years or 3 years, I can't remember. Now I realize like this homemaking thing, this housewife thing is a big job. It's a big responsibility, not to mention now that I homeschool my daughter, and I'm also, right, like taking care of the house. I am the one that does all of the, I'm the one that does all the financing stuff, right? I'm making the calls, I'm making the appointments, I'm making sure everything's getting paid on time. And so I have a lot of jobs within just this house. And so yeah, that was one thing that I struggled with, especially before I became a Christian and realized like, hey, this is where I'm called to be, at home, taking care of all these responsibilities, taking care of the children, making sure the house is running, and just a welcoming place, a place of peace for my family. That is a job in itself. So I have accepted the idea. I am more comfortable with it now. And that was a big one. So that was the first thing that I felt like I wanted to talk about. So the next thing is just learning when to speak up. So I'm saying it like that because I feel like a lot of people don't really understand what submitting means in biblical context. So submitting to your husband doesn't mean that we can't speak up. we can speak up, we can speak our minds, and we can talk to our husbands. Let's not forget, we're supposed to be one. So he is supposed to know how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're planning. He's supposed to be in on it. Now, with that being said, I do feel like I have learned to pick and choose my battles better. Like, there have been times where I've just decided not to say anything in the heat of the moment, because I used to be very outspoken before. I used to, you know, right away just say whatever was on top of my mind. And now I'm learning how to be a more quiet, gentle, thoughtful person before I speak. So, I mean, honestly, sometimes it felt like I just wanted to fight over or argue over every little thing, to be honest, like every little thing that used to bug me. And now I am learning just to let things go. Yeah, there's certain things that I feel like are not worth fighting. Like, for instance, where we're parking, what we're gonna eat, where are we gonna go, like what are we gonna do. Sometimes you just gotta let him take the lead. And yeah, that one I'm still struggling with. Like, I honestly get upset when he parks too far. When we're going places, I don't like to walk too much, I guess. So the next one is probably gonna be a little TMI for you guys. There's a warning there, just in case. This is gonna be about sex. There is a verse, let me look it up. So this is in 1 Corinthians, and it says, chapter 7, do not deprive one another except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourselves to prayer, but then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Basically, it says that we should not be withholding sex from each other. And I have to admit, like, I used to not when I was upset. I used to not when I was tired. I used to not when I just didn't feel like it. I used to not when, just because maybe I don't know. I used to do that a lot, just to be honest. And so now I am trying to be a little bit more like, okay, well, you know, this is your body as well, and I'm trying not to withhold it when I'm feeling upset or mad or angry or tired. So I'm trying to be less like that. And I had someone ask me that question personally, like DM me about it. So just to answer your question, if you're watching, sex is not something you're supposed to withhold from your husband. I mean, there are certain situations, like for instance, I personally, when I am on my period, I don't like any of that. And luckily I have a husband who's pretty understanding, and usually around my period time I don't do any of that. So yeah, sex was one thing that was a kind of a thing that I had to shift my mind around. And yeah, just in case you guys were wondering. So the next thing is like appearance. I think before, I used to think like, oh, if I like short hair, I'm gonna cut my hair. If I want to dye my hair, I'm gonna dye my hair. If I want to wear those shoes, I'm gonna wear those shoes. But that's kind of silly now that I think about it, because your husband is the one that is gonna be with you, right? Like, wouldn't you want him to be attracted to you? Wouldn't you want to please him in that sense? He personally likes when I have long hair, so I keep my hair long, and he likes when I wear dresses, so I try to wear more dresses nowadays. He doesn't like too much makeup, so I try to keep it very natural. So yeah, like just being more considerate in like how I look, because he's married to me, so I should try to please him, right? Why would I try to do the opposite of that? It just doesn't make sense. I want him to be attracted to me. But yeah, you guys, I think I did tell you guys we were going to a mentoring class through our church, and I feel like the people that were mentoring us really opened up my eyes to how to give into yourselves in a biblical manner. And yeah, I think it made a really big impact in just the way I see things. Obviously, we want to keep this marriage going. Something else that I just want to share with you guys, to be truly honest, like with how much I feel like I've changed. Now that I'm Christian, I see things differently. Like before, I used to contemplate the idea of divorce a lot, and obviously that was just because I felt like that was an option. That was my escape route before. Like I used to even think about like how would I do it. I would plan it out in my head, and it's just so sad to even think about that now, because I realize like that shouldn't be something you're even thinking about. Like once you're married, you should remember that that's a lifelong commitment. And now that I understand how important this commitment truly is, like it has changed my mind. And obviously becoming Christian and learning about the Bible and how important it is for us to understand that and take it serious. We're not perfect, right? Every marriage has problems. Every relationship comes across things that sometimes can be really hard. But now I don't even consider that idea. I know that I'm supposed to be married to George forever, and until God separates us, right? And so yeah, I just wanted to kind of include that in this video, just to let you guys know for the next video I do have a modesty outfit ideas video coming up. You guys are probably going to see this dress there. This is a dress. I'll show you guys in that video. So if you guys want to make sure you guys don't miss out on that video, turn on your notifications. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys saw that little subliminal message back there. It says subscribe. We're in my homeschool room, by the way. This is our little homeschool room. If you guys didn't know, I do have a bunch of videos about homeschool in my main channel, so check that out. There will be an iCard up here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if I could have talked about anything more. Leave a comment down below if you guys would like me to answer anything. And I guess that's it for this video. Stay blessed, you guys. I'll see you on the next one.